The Israeli ministry says the country will release about 200 jailed African migrants in the absence of a final deal to deport them, and thousands more Eritrean and Sudanese men who entered the country illegally. The government has been trying to finalize an agreement with Uganda to take in the migrants who came into Israel on foot through the Egyptian border over the past decade. Most of the 200 men set for release were sent to a desert prison in recent months to await deportation to Uganda. But with negotiations continuing over a deal with Uganda, Israel's Interior Ministry, which has faced court challenges by rights groups over the detentions, issued a statement on Sunday saying it would begin releasing the migrants. Saudi Arabia's King Salman on Sunday opened a summit of Arab leaders in the city of Dhahran. Regional powerhouses Saudi Arabia and Iran have been locked in a decades-long struggle for supremacy that is being waged in proxy wars in several countries, including Yemen and Syria. Saudi Arabia, which takes over the rotating chair of the Arab Summit from Jordan, announced that the current gathering would be named Quds Jerusalem Summit, a reference to President Donald Trump's decision last year to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. King Salman said Saudi Arabia was donating $200 million to support the Palestinians, including $50 million for the UN Relief and Works Agency. Qatar did not send any senior official to the summit in a sign that its 10-month dispute with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Egypt is still a long way from being resolved. Meanwhile, Syria's President Bashar al-Assad has told a group of Russian lawmakers that Western missile strikes on his country were an act of aggression. The meeting followed missile strikes from the United States, the UK and France over suspected poison gas attack a little more than a week ago. Russia, which is helping the Assad government fight militants and rebels opposed to his rule, immediately condemned the strikes and called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Russian lawmakers told President Assad, "From the point of view of the president, this was aggression and we share this position." The president was reported in a good mood and continuing his work in Damascus. Both Russia and Syria have dismissed the report of alleged gas attacks as bogus, accusing Washington of using it as a pretext for the strikes.
Obviously, our prime consideration has to be
On the other hand, Britain's Foreign Minister Boris Johnson says his government took the decision to join missile strikes against Syria without securing parliamentary approval because it was focused on the speed and efficiency of the operation. Asked why Parliament was not recalled from its break before the attacks early Saturday morning, Mr. Johnson said the prime consideration was the safety of Britain's serving men and women and the effectiveness and speed of the operation. He backed Prime Minister Theresa May's decision to join the US and France to strike chemical weapons facilities in Syria on Saturday, saying it was the right thing to do to deter the further use of chemical weapons. That's the program this week. I'd like to hear from you. Please write to any of the addresses showing on your screen. I am Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.